G'day guys, back again. Tom here with our next episode of How You Going? Sharing Stories with Tom. Today's episode we've got a mate of mine who I've known probably maybe just over 3 years now, and Clint. And I met Clint through my travels with Empower Golf, and really learned a lot from Clint, who's turned into quite a good mate. And conversations that we have are definitely ones that I never thought I'd have with people so close to me, but they've been pretty important in my journey of growing as a person. So Clint, welcome. We like to start off every episode with the simple question, the question that I think has lost a bit of meaning in time, but we want to bring back the actual meaning and ask the question properly and get a proper answer. So Clint Morgan, how you going?
Great, Tom. Thanks for having me on board.
Mate, my pleasure. It was when I started thinking about creating these videos, these vlogs, you sprung to mind straight away, being someone that's, you know what, we've had a few chats about different things that have happened in both our lives, and I know that you've got a pretty unique story, coming from a place that not many people have been to, but have created a fair few opportunities. So tell us, where were you born and raised, and where'd you grow up?
Yeah, great. So I was born in Perth, born and bred in Perth. I've lived in Perth my whole life. Travelled around Australia a little bit, not too much. Spent a lot of time in my later years working in Pilbara. I worked in construction for a good 10 years prior to my accident. I'll get into that in a little while. But yeah, I grew up doing all the cool stuff, outdoor sports and activities, swimming, surf lifesaving, loved riding my bike, enjoyed a bit of mountain biking. Never a big sport, athletic or a sport player. Probably enjoyed watching it more, but saying that, I did enjoy getting out and just enjoying the outdoors, camping, fishing, all driving. I forgot my license, the whole lot.
Yeah, cool. And then so growing up in Perth, growing up around that beach lifestyle, that camping outdoors, what was high school like?
High school was a little bit of a challenge. I was never one. I guess I was never that A grade student. I was sort of down the bottom. I probably enjoyed being outdoors and mucking around more than studying, but it led on to a fulfilling life after high school, and I guess I went out and got the jobs that I wanted to get, rather than being stuck in one avenue. I started in IT when I left high school. I worked with computers for a few years, gave that away, preferred to drink at the time, and getting phone calls on a Friday night asking me to come and fix a computer on Saturday morning that was broken or full of viruses, or the network had gone down, wasn't the most comfortable thing to do when you're nursing a hangover. So I opted for a career change in IT. I moved on to doing some casual work. I did security for a while. I worked in 3 pizza shops over about 7 years, I think it was. I travelled to the UK, went from pouring my first pint to being shift supervisor in about six or 7 weeks. Absolutely loved that one bit.
Typical UK bar story for an Aussie, hey?
That's right. Yeah. I guess that's what we do best. So came back to Perth and just started working construction after that.
Yeah, cool. And so construction, like you come back from living overseas, doing the AOE thing and learning, I guess, a fair bit about yourself over there.
I did, yeah. You kind of got to look out for yourself. It is a much bigger country. It goes hand in hand with travelling, your safety, and also just having a great time, just running a muck, which 21 Day Kentucky Tour proved that.
I bet it did.
But yeah, I guess it was time to come home and settle down, and that's where I landed in construction to, I guess, grow up and mature a little bit and start doing all the cool things like buying houses and settling down in relationships.
Yeah, well, yeah, all that cool stuff apparently. But Yeah, I'm guessing there was a fair bit of self-discovery on a 20-day Kentucky tour around Europe, but we won't get too much into that one. Try to keep it a bit
Well,
PG rated.
yeah. Let's a lot of discovering other people other than yourself, but yeah.
Yeah, great stuff. So you went, you did this, the self-discovery, and then starting to figure out who Clint Morgan was a little bit more, I'm guessing, and then so back to Perth and construction.
Back to Perth and construction, yeah.
Yeah, and so where were you, like around the city or?
Yeah, so I started in Perth, working on for a large construction company in Perth, working on roads, rails, bridges. Did a lot of highway upgrades, and then got the opportunity to do some FIFO work. This is going back in about 2007, 2008, maybe close to 2009. I was probably in the full fly-in, fly-out swing.
Yep.
And I guess that's when, back then the money started rolling in, and it was time to look at something like a house, or just get rid of the running amok lifestyle and
So
do something mature.
yeah, well, and that fits into the themes that we're going to be talking about now, because it's all about looking at being proud of yourself and creating those values that are installed in yourself. So there's probably a block there between, like I said, 2008 and not too distant after that. Who was that person that Clint became?
Probably pretty close to my dad.
Yeah.
I followed in my dad's footsteps in going into construction. And I guess it was just something I was around as a child. I enjoyed that outdoor lifestyle, working with my hands, having a sense of achievement. Not a big fan of being cooped up in an office. As I said, doing that for 2 or 3 years, wearing a suit and tie every day, working on computers, and that got hung up for some dirty clothes, pair of steel caps, and the outdoor life again. So it was great. I mean, I was around a lot of heavy machinery and had the opportunity to work with some great people who again helped me mature over time, taught me a lot of things about dealing with problems that arise on a day-to-day level in the industry. And then I guess I just related that back to almost real life situations, and helped me mature as a person, like you mentioned.
Yeah, great stuff, and definitely, sound like you're growing up and like setting those goals and those values that your dad had instilled in you, and getting the job and the houses, and really starting to make that steady life.
That's right. Probably spent a little bit more money than I should have, but hey, if you've got it, you might as well spend it. So
exactly right. And
those morals and life changes and challenges that we're faced on day to day. I guess it was just inevitable that my parents brought me up right to follow in their footsteps, I guess.
Yep. And then moving forward from that, was there any relationships or goals like that, like or those sort of things happening?
Back then, again, it was pretty new. I was about 20, 27, 28, just decided to buy a house. So again, it was a big step. It was a challenge at the time, and I guess looking back, it did have a lot of mental health issues attached to it that were a challenge at the time. Again, I think looking back, I probably could have dealt with them a lot better, but that's just life, I guess. And
and learning
those same mistakes again, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, learning from those, and I know looking back on my story with that as well, there's a few coping mechanisms, as I think we call them, that probably weren't the best idea at the time, and you wouldn't really want to do them again. But we take those lessons from those and move forward.
Definitely.
So you've gone through this, well, I'm trying to work out a timeline here. What, like about mid to late 20s? Got a good job going on. You've got the career, got the house there. And then what happened?
About 30 or so, yeah, would have been pretty close to about 30. Had a house, had a girlfriend at the time, and I guess a combination of everything was just a bit of a toxic lifestyle. Spent more time arguing with the girlfriend, and work was miserable. Back to nursing a hangover with those coping mechanisms that you mentioned. Drinking was one of them. I guess I didn't have to drink. I enjoyed a drink. Probably drank a little bit too much from time to time. But there were times where I stopped drinking and clean myself up and shape up and get fit. But I guess little things and set that back off and take a bit of a dive again. But yeah, probably would have been early 30s when I tried to change my ways a little bit and I guess be a little bit more sensible and
Yep.
hope that common sense prevailed.
Yeah, that's it. And so going through that, like you sound like you straightened it out a little bit, looking at bigger goals, everything sort of on the right track by the sounds of it. And from there, probably you mentioned it before, the accident. What happened there?
Yeah, so that's that probably puts me back close to. We back up probably 6 years, I guess. I met my last partner, so current girlfriend, Jess, has been fantastic. We got together, as I said, I got rid of those toxic relationships that I was in, and took some time out to reflect who I was, what I wanted, and tried again to find that one person. So I came across Jess about 6 years ago, and we've been together ever since. So 3 years ago was when I had a nasty accident. I'd just quit my job 2 weeks before that. I was enjoying some drinks on a Friday night with the boys at work, and someone decided it was a great idea to pull the BMX bike out of the shed and do some laps around the car park. Long story short, I completely misjudged jumping over a bin. Went over the handlebars, hit my head on the ground, and rolled over onto my back, knocking myself unconscious. I woke up looking at the stars. It was a Friday night, about 9:35 at night. I still remember it. I don't remember hitting the ground, but I remember waking up looking at the stars and just gasping for air. At the time, I didn't know what I'd done, but all I could feel was my chest. I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't feel the waist. I could move my arms from the elbows down, and I had an absolutely thumping headache. Probably more stars in the sky than I've ever seen before. That was the night that I broke my back, left me about a T8 paraplegic. And then over the last 3 years, some neurological complications and issues that arose from that initial injury put me back in hospital for a total of 8 months after 4 further surgeries. So, it was a rather big lifestyle change. I wasn't planning on this career change, but I'd lined up a couple of interviews with some promising companies, both which I actually got shortlisted for while I was laying in hospital. I had to reject both of them, which was quite disappointing because it was actually a cushier job with better benefits and quite a significant pay increase. So I was a little bit disappointed and annoyed with that, but there was nothing I could do laying on my back. I couldn't do anything for 3 months after that, going through rehab. So
So that's the night that the new Clint arrived, eh?
Yeah, the new Clint, I guess.
The new Clint.
And had a couple of new Clints in my life, but I think this would probably be one of the better ones out of the mix.
By all means, and I must admit, I didn't know, I didn't get the pleasure of meeting the Clint before the accident, but so for those who are listening out there, I met Clint through our time with Empower Golf, and seeing Clint come down and trying out the paragolfing machine, and hearing some stories about his journey and his family, and a few other things that we probably won't get into today, but a few other stories that had happened beforehand. And yeah, it's quite amazing. This guy comes down and full of beans, talking about how the only time he'd played golf before was having a few too many cans on the course with his mates, and then to see him get up and just give it a go, like, hey, why not, is one of the most inspiring things that I've seen. And yes, like some of the moments that were spent together on the golf course have really taught me a lot. So going back now, like looking at that, a T8, well, even before that, like paraplegia. Have you ever been around that before you're in hospital?
A little bit, not as much obviously as I have now. Growing up with the scout group that I was in, we spent a lot of time out in the community, volunteering, doing things. One of the things we actually did was visit a house with people with disabilities, and spend a bit of time around them, just getting them out, walking them around in the community, either in a wheelchair or a frame, or around the yards, things like that. So I had been around a lot of people with a disability, but not to the extent that I ever thought I would be in now. But yeah, completely different way of thinking, I guess.
Yeah, by all means. So all of a sudden, here's this moment in life, and that's completely changed you. And I know we've had a couple of chats about this before, and about a few things that happened, but you're in this hospital bed. Those thoughts, like what's going through your head now?
Oh, it's crazy. I guess one of the probably thoughts at the top of your mind, I guess it could go either way. You either want to get out and just conquer the world again, do what you want, when you want, just pick the pieces back up and get back on with your life. And then there's the other side where you do slip away and do lose sight of those priorities that you should actually have getting back out there. So I guess I'm lucky in a sense that I came to grips fairly early on in my accident, after my accident, that I was never going to walk again. When I was transferred from Royal Perth, just after 5 weeks before I started rehab at Fiona Stanley, I said to the surgeon was standing at the end of the bed, and I said, look, just tell me, like, am I going to walk again? Am I going to get up? I'm just going to be fine in another few weeks when all this heals, aren't I? And he just basically laughed and said, no, you've pretty much severed your spinal cord. You've done about 90% damage to your spinal cord in the area that you broke your vertebrae. So I guess it was at that point that my thought pattern changed from I'm going to get up and walk out of here to, if it does happen, so be it. I'll be grateful, but I can't expect it to happen. So I guess I had to stop thinking that everything was going to be okay, because it wasn't. And it was then the next few weeks that really shaped and molded the person that I am today, I guess you could say. That's pretty much what changed me, going through rehab and just building my strength and stamina back up, and just doing what I wanted to, whether it was eating peas with a fork again instead of a spoon, or doing the washing, or playing golf. I think a month after I came out of hospital, it was only 4 or 5 weeks from memory that I'd been out of hospital, and I came across Empower Golf. And again, that then changed me even more. That just gave me the biggest sense of freedom and accomplishment and normality, I guess, back in my life. So, it was fantastic.
Mate, and it wasn't just for you as well. Like seeing your family around, and seeing Jess almost knock me over, coming running down and giving me giving you a hug, saying that her 6-foot man was back, like seeing those motions, like there wasn't a dry eye around. But you know what, like apart from the Sandboy chips, which I'll have a chat with in a second, like
yes,
you know what, you've been dealt this card, you've pretty well, not so much dealt with it, but you've gone, okay, this is Clint now, so I'm going to get on with it. And then all of a sudden, like, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, eh?
Oh, yeah. So that time that I came out to play golf just after I came out of rehab, so I've been laying on my back for 4 months. The closest I've been is sitting in a wheelchair and pushing myself around. So the opportunity to get in that paragolfer and stand back up and be back to eye level with someone was just surreal. For that 30 seconds, 5 minutes, I just felt like nothing was wrong whatsoever. Everything was just perfect. Nothing could be much better than that. And again, being back up at 6 foot to give Jess a hug after spending 3 months in and out of hospital and just home alone was just great. So yeah. Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, and then I'm saying, so you're doing all these amazing things, and like, this is happening. You're eating peas again. You're giving Jess a hug, standing up, but then you're taking these steps forward, and then
that's right.
and then
Sorry, I got caught up in a moment. That 6 foot tall still tears me up a little bit. So,
mate, look, I was there that day and seeing it, and even seeing people that had never met you before and didn't know the story and didn't know anyone there. Like, it was one of the most emotional things I've seen, and like, that's look, you and I got on pretty well from the get-go anyway, but then seeing that and being there as part of on that journey with you guys was just it touched me more than just a job, that's for sure.
That's awesome. I developed some neurological issues. They pretty much
not from being friends with me though. Like, there were other things. That's all right.
Other things, yeah. I'll get into that. No, so unfortunately, the swelling on my spinal cord never went down, and it started putting pressure further and further up on the nerves that I still had that were undamaged, I guess. So 6 months after I came out of the hospital in 2017, I started losing sensation and strength in my left arm. They operated again. That actually went from the spinal team at Royal Perth to the neurological team at Charlie Gardner. So I was sent in there pretty quick. They put a little shunt in to drain the fluid off my spinal cord, which unfortunately worked for about the first week, but the extent of the swelling was a little bit too significant for that to work competently, so that shunt blocked within about 5 weeks. And then, a couple of months later, I went back in and had a second shunt put in. That was in late 2017, I think it was. It was just before Christmas. So I was discharged a week before Christmas in 2016. I was lucky to come home just before that, just in time for the Christmas rush shopping. And then should have laughed because I wasn't actually down the shops. You have to do your Christmas shopping the day.
Oh, exactly right.
That's just how we work. 2017 saw me back in hospital, and that surgery left me back in rehab for, I think it was close to 8 weeks. I pretty much lost all my strength and stamina again, so I spent another 8 weeks back in Fiona Stanley on the hand bike and weights, and just going through physio every single day, working up to 2-hour physio sessions just to get that strength back up so I could get through my days again. That was all going well. I said I wasn't going to spend Christmas in hospital again, so I was discharged again that week before Christmas in 2017. But unfortunately, that shunt they put in was actually draining too much fluid, which caused some negative effects. I won't go into details there, it's a little bit complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it basically left me with low pressure headaches for close to 12 months. The only way to get rid of them was drink coffee or lay down on the bed and go away. But naturally, every time I sat back up, the headaches would come back. So I spent about 4 hours a day up in my chair, out and about. The rest was laying on the bed or sleeping for 12, 13, 14 hours at night. In late 2018, I went back in and had that shunt removed. The swelling had all gone down on my spinal cord. Everything was looking pretty good. Other than the fact that I had those low pressure headaches, my body couldn't adjust enough on its own. So we went back in and took that shunt out. So that was surgery number 4.
Wow.
To have that one out, and yeah, here we are, just over 12 months later. Everything's going fine again. So yeah, it was certainly one step forward and 2 back, but I'm well and truly on the road to recovery now, and yeah, it's been great to squeeze a little bit of work in midway through last year and get back to some sort of a normal lifestyle, I guess you could almost say.
Well, definitely, mate. Like, wow, what a journey! Like and I know coming to visit you in hospital and things like that, and I know we got a cat coming in to visit us at the moment. Sorry about that.
Director's just checking some stuff out.
Yep. So the producer's having a look. There you go. And so coming into hospital and learning a lot more about the spinal ward and things like that, but hearing your response to like what must have been pretty bloody devastating actually, and like I won't dwell on that too much, but yeah, to have something this traumatic happen, and then you're back on the road to recovery, and then another hurdle, and then another hurdle, and I know like we spoke about, not just your mental strength, but your physical strength was diminishing, so you had to get back up, but then those conversations that we had, and whenever they started looking like it was a negative or almost like a poor me conversation, what always inspired me is you always turned that around and actually looked at it as an opportunity to do something and to prove not just everyone else wrong, but to prove to yourself that you could do it and get back there. And then everything just came back to the Sandboy chips.
Oh, Sandboy chips, yeah. Just before we go into Sandboy chips, I think back when I was in hospital the first time back in 2016, I think that one of the things that I concentrated on was just getting through my days rather than looking too far into the future and saying, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Admittedly, I said I was going to abseil down in QV1, I think, before I came out of hospital. So that was probably about the only thing I said I was going to actually do before looking too far into the future. But
yeah, there
was a time, I spent most mornings just crying in the shower, and I used that time to wash away my tears in the morning, just have a shower, cry, get it over and done with, wash them away and just go, right, let's just get on with today. Let's get through today before we concentrate on what's going to happen next week. And I think it was just setting those small goals and small steps that actually helped me get through the week, the month, and then deal with those bigger blows. There were times where I was literally left in the surgeon's hands. There was nothing I could do other than just wait for a surgery date to come available. Luckily, but unfortunately, given the seriousness of my condition, it was escalated and pushed through quite quick, so I didn't have to wait too long. But yeah, after the second surgery, I dropped to about 55 kilos, which was not a healthy weight, and I did not look well at all. So
that's for sure.
3 days after surgery, once I finished throwing up, the first thing I did was smash a cheeseburger And then that was it. That was my turning point again from there, is to build that strength back up and just get back out there.
Powerful, mate. Powerful. And look, that there, what you just said about washing away the tears is through these episodes we're talking about, through what I said, like about my story when I'm sharing that, like it's okay. It's okay to actually recognize that. Well, it's part of the process. Let's be honest. Of moving forward, you've got to stop that, right? You've got to admit that, you know what, these things are fucked up. There's something going on here.
Yeah. If you don't necessarily need help from someone else, but you need to acknowledge the fact to yourself that there's a problem, it needs changing. If you're in the right mindset and you have the capabilities, change it yourself.
Yeah.
If you can't, reach out to someone, talk to a mate, talk to a friend, talk to your GP, talk to your psychologist, or anyone to help you get back on the right tracks.
Awesome.
You keep nagging me about these sandboy chips. Do you want to get into the sandboy chips story?
Oh, mate, look, hey, I was just trying to get a sponsorship deal out of some chips for you, but you know, like I've never seen such a what should we say? I'm not even going to call it an argument. I'm going to call it a disagreement of you and Jess in front of me. So, like, no holds barred about the quality and the difference between Sandboy chips and other barbecue flavored chips.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, there's just no comparison. So there's two things that I thrived on in hospital. One was playing Uno and beating Jess most games, but she did beat me a few times, so I'm going to give credit for that. And I
know what happened, Jess. It's all right. And what was
it? The comfort food. So yeah, Sandboy chips, barbecue flavored Sandboy chips. Yes.
And you know what? The first time I came and saw you, I just ducked around the IGA. Yep, not a problem. Easy, grabbed it from the supermarket. Not a problem at all. And then all of a sudden, like I realised that it wasn't quite that easy to get them. Not everywhere sold them, so it was good.
That's
Luckily,
right,
my local one does. So yeah, I always made sure that there was Sandboy chips when I came up.
I was very specific when I asked for chips, especially when Jess said, "Do you want me to bring anything in?" And I said, "Yeah, barbecue Sandboy chips." And there was the odd occasion where she'd bring Smiths in or another brand because she wanted some gourmet Red Rock ones or whatever they were. And don't get me wrong, did enjoy them, loved them, but they just weren't Sandboy barbecue chips.
I love it.
So yeah, we did get into a little bit of a disagreement where I swore black and blue that I could tell the difference between Sandboy chips and Buttons and Smiths. So yeah, the table was set. I think we had 8. Jess set it all up. I had to sit there with a bed sheet over my face so I couldn't see, and she set up 4 of each, and one by one I went through and picked off a chip, and I had to distinguish whether it was Sandboys or Smith's flavoured barbecue chips. And I am proud to say that I came out one on top with the Sandboy barbecue flavoured.
Beauty, love it. And then I'll still share that story with people as well. So mate,
it went on and on, but we had to settle it. So it was. I had nurses and all sorts coming in asking me what was going on, and it was rather entertaining. Look, it was awesome. One of those things that you got to look on the bright, funnier side.
100%. And you know what? There's a story that everyone's sharing. So like focusing on that, like when you were, so this has happened. You're now back in rehab again. You're building yourself back up. Look, 2020. Who's Clint Morgan?
2020. I'm loving life. It's great. As I said earlier, I started work mid last year, some casual work, which was great in the disability sector, I guess. And I just enjoying spending time with mum and dad, sister, Jess, her family, everyone that I can be around. Yourself, can't exclude the present company. And yeah, just
Nice.
just enjoying life, getting back on, and doing those things that I want to do again. Just because I'm 2 foot shorter and roll around in a wheelchair doesn't mean I can't get out and do what I used to love,
Yep.
what I still love, and what I want to do in the future. So getting my license back a couple of years ago, it's been great. I've got freedom to drive. And while I've got the ability to do those things, I just want to get out and do it. So yeah, I guess I've probably changed a lot as a person. Probably because I can't run away from those problems anymore.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
There's a dad joke for you.
Yeah. Oh, mate. I'm surprised it's taken this long actually to actually come in. I thought you were going to pick me up on 1 step forward or 2 steps back or something like that. But yeah, there you go.
We'd be here all day. I'm not sure we've got enough time to get through all of them.
Oh, mate, I still remember the look on the lady's face at the cafeteria in Subiaco when we met up for coffee, and then she asked you to take a seat, and you're like, no, I bought my own things.
Yeah, I think it just throws people off. They don't quite expect it. It's I guess we all take it with a pinch of salt. So.
Exactly right. So mate, what does it mean to be proud of yourself?
Oh, just to acknowledge both my problems and achievements. To spend that time getting back up and doing the things that I want to do. Just try and stay focused, I guess, and yeah, I just guess love being me. So yeah, back
Awesome.
to being myself and doing what I enjoy and can do.
And mate, that last bit right there is why I consider you such a great mate. And it's, you know what, learning through your journey, and I must admit I have learned a hell of a lot from you. And it's not even the resilience, the struggle through adversity. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about, you know what, sometimes you're going to get dealt these shit hands, and actually let's look at the important things like the Sandboy chips. But it's more than that. It's been able to connect with your family about something. It's been able to connect back with your friends and deal with these things that have been thrown at you, but actually jump at them as well and take that opportunity to go to, you said it, change your tracks and actually look at there's more than one way to eat a carrot, as they say.
Definitely, yeah. It's one of those things. Yeah, I mean, we obviously, I've just adapted and moved on. Used past experiences and the knowledge and skills that I've learned over the years to adapt and just make a better way of achieving the goals that I need to do. So yeah.
Great stuff. Well, mate, for everyone listening out there now, we're gonna finish it up, but what a story. And I know, like, you're doing some amazing things out there with other people that are living with disabilities, and a big shout out to Rebound WA and the work you're doing with those guys. A tip about being proud to you for other people out there, whether living with a disability, if they're going through some hard times, or, you know what, if people just need to hear it, what would it be?
Oh, just try and look at the brighter side of life, I guess. We've all got problems. We've all got issues. We're all going through something that's challenging for each of us in our own little way, whether it's how to hit a golf ball down the fairway or struggling to wake up in the morning because you can't get past your letterbox for whatever reason. I think just small goals, small steps, and reach out, talk to someone, whether it's your cat or your TV or your mate or whoever. Just reach out and talk to someone about whatever you want to talk about.
Awesome, mate. Well, it's been a pleasure, and you know what, we chat often, so it's not like we're just catching up, but you know what, thanks for sharing that story, for opening up and talking about some pretty life-changing moments that you have been through, and you know what, being able to be proud of the person that you are and learn from those adversities is, yeah, a major attribute to the person you are, mate. So well done, and thank you for today.
No dramas. Thanks very much for having me, Tom. It's been great.
Easy, guys. Well, that's Clint, and I'm sure, like, hey, he'll be more than happy to have a chat with you about anything. So we'll sign off there, and we'll see you next time.
Catch you later.